Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. Getting a little coffee going. Bonjour. Bonjour. Good morning. How are you doing, guys? Good morning. Robin, good morning. Deborah, good morning. Wendy. Hey, Joe. Courage. Bonjour. Vous serez à Panama. Très bien. Bonjour. Good morning, T. Stewart. Bienvenido. Good morning. Yeah, I have some glasses that work today. And I went ahead to Dollar Tree, which is where I get my glasses. They had different kinds. You know, they've improved since I was there last time. Good morning from Brooklyn. Hola. Oh, I need to get to Brooklyn. Cheryl, PhD. Hola. Good morning. Oh, I'm missing Brooklyn. My next trip, well, no, I want to go to Kenya first. And then, I don't know, I'd love to go to New York City for Christmas. I know it's like really cold, but I miss it. Blessings, blessing. Good morning. Thank you. Genie out of the bottle. I just love that name. I don't know how you got that name, but Genie's out of the bottle. I want to hear the story behind that. Good morning from Washington, D.C. Oh, I bet it's cold too, huh? Good morning, guys. I'm having a little coffee this morning, and I wanted to show you something. Yesterday, I think I recorded me eating some pate with my coffee. I want to show you what the pate looks like. This is a puff pastry. They used to be square, but I don't know why they make them triangle this time, but that's okay. But this is something I grew up on. This is a staple of Haitian cuisine. You can fill it. It's like an empanada. You could put anything you want in it, right? But I think the key is in the pastry, you know, the way you make it. They make it like a pâte feuilletée. Like when we do it, you just roll it, you put butter, and in this case, shortening, and then you roll it, and then you fold it. You roll and you fold. And that's what gives you all the layers. But yes, you know, that was on my list to taste because, you know, I haven't had any since I've been in Panama. And they had cod and chicken. So I think I got some cod and chicken. So this is the last one, but I won't be eating it now while I'm talking to you. But I just wanted you to know. I'm just getting my feel of everything I haven't tried in the last couple of years. And then the last thing I have left is that fried shrimp. I keep mentioning that. Good morning, James. Bedina, I've seen that name somewhere. Love your dress. Oh, I got my reading glasses to $2. Listen, I had my last pair when I went to the eye doctor. It was like about $700. I couldn't see anything out of the thing. I was doing this. It was a trifocal. Finally, I got so tired. I was getting a headache. I'm like, forget it. I threw them in the trash. That hurt. It's money. And then I went and got a reading glasses, and I'm like, oh my God, I can see better with these $1 glasses. And that's why. So when I buy them, I buy like 8 or 10 pairs because, you know, they're not the strongest thing and the handles sometimes fall off, which is what happened last week. And this lady said, your lopsided glasses just had me. I'm like, I know, but hey. Peter, good morning from the Rocky Mountain. Oh, beautiful Colorado. Looks like an apple fritter. Yeah, kind of, but it's not fried. It's baked. So, yeah. I'm a countryman living off the land. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Good morning. Hello, Jersey. All right, guys. So, I was going to go somewhere and have brunch like I did when I was in Panama in the interior. But you know, after my research, I realized in Orlando on a Sunday morning, I wasn't going to be able to find a place that was quiet enough to record. And also, because of copyright rules on YouTube, you can't have your recording and hear somebody else's music in the back. It has to be approved music from YouTube Studio, or you get a subscription for they have a non-something music that you're free to use. So last time I did that, when I did that in where was I? In okay, was that Chiriquí? But I was somewhere in Panama. And then, you know, of course, the YouTube police just came and said, you cannot use that music, or you cannot be monetized if that. So I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to deal with that. Okay. So after I did my research last night, because I told you I was going to go live somewhere, and I came down and look in the fridge and see what was available. And I'm like, okay, let me cook something. So I had this cod that I had bought, fresh cod, right? I had bought last week. So I'm going to use it and do a version of shrimp and grits. Now, in Panama, we have trouble finding real grits. So people are always on the hunt for the regular stuff. But I'm not from the South, and I'm not definitely, you know, like a grits person, even though I used to cook it in my restaurant, right? And I was good at, you know, hitting that grits, because the more you beat it, you release the gluten and all that. It makes it really thick and creamy. And you put some, I used to put a little bit of cream in my grits, and you could put cheese or whatever. But today I'm going to use, my version is, I went to the store, to the Caribbean store, and I bought some cornmeal, right? You want to buy the cornmeal that is not too fine, but enough with a little bite. So that's what I have, and that's what I think I'm going to cook. And then I'm going to add, instead of the cream that is heavy in fat, I'm going to use a little bit of coconut milk, right? No cheese. But I am going to put some diced tomato, and let the tomato really render itself and get really cooked well, so it becomes almost one with the cornmeal. So that's going to be our version. Yes, that's going to be our version of AKA shrimp and grits. Instead of shrimp, we're doing the cod. And then with the cod, I'm just going to put peppers and onions, and that's what we're going to cook. I also have an avocado, and I think it's good. And we can have a couple of slices of avocado. Now, when I was growing up, before school, you know, you had to eat. And we used to make the cornmeal with the tomatoes, but we used to add herrings in it. You know, smoked fish. And you cook all that, you beat it real good with a couple of slices of avocado. Let me tell you, yum, yum, yum. So that's what we're going to do today. Is that okay? I simply love your laugh. Well, thank you. Did I tell you that some people say I giggle too much? I said, well, you know, you can click off. You don't have to watch my channel. Hey, good morning, T. McBride. How are you? You know what? Like somebody said, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry. Guys, my video that's going to drop this coming Wednesday, yesterday, because, you know, I try to record once a week. And after I did that last video about, you know, things that are happening around us that could threaten our retirement. And I was like, what am I going to talk about this week? And I'm like, what is it? God, I need a topic, right? And I was coming down the stairs, and it was like, talk about mental health. Well, that's what I know. I know mental health. And about what's happening around us right now definitely is going to affect your mental health. So that's what my video is going to be about. How do we remain centered and not lose our mind with everything that's happening? Okay? You guys know I don't talk politics on my channel, but mental health is something anybody can relate to, because you have to have those skills to help you hang on and ride this wave that is trying to blow us out of the water, right? All right. So I did my mise en place. Mise en place means you cut your stuff ahead of time. That way you don't have to waste time. So I have my diced tomatoes. I have my cornmeal. I diced some onions that I'm going to use for both. I have a little bit of what we call a piece, which is a mixture of garlic, green onions, and sometimes peppers, sometimes parsley. I don't have any parsley today, but I do have some green onion, so I can use that for decoration. You know, when you finish, you just sprinkle a little bit on it like you see the chefs do. So we got that. And that's the way I cook, guys. I open the cupboard, I open the fridge, and I say, okay, what do I have and what can I cook? You can do that too. You don't have to run to the store every time, just mix and match. But I got plenty of time. I love time. And I have a big old daddy habanero pepper. I like a little bit of heat. If you don't, it's okay. You don't have to use it, but I need that. All right. So let's get started with the cornmeal. Now I'm scared of this this burner. It almost burned a couple of my dishes because it gets so bright so fast and it's hard to control it, but I'll do my best. You know how we do it. If you have any questions for me as I'm cooking, this is your time to ask. Very good topic. Yeah, just look for the video on Wednesday, noon, EST. What's cooking? We're doing cornmeal with tomatoes, and we're going to top it with some cod. My version of shrimp and grits, or fish and grits, okay? I was born in Haiti. I've been in the States since I was 18. I'm still in Florida. I know. I'm trying to sell my house, so I've been really working hard getting it ready, and I'm gonna list it. And once I list it, I'm out of here. You like my apron? Thank you. It's from Panama. All right. Ooh, I think I put a little bit too much, but that's okay. All right, let's see. It's already smoking. Let's watch this. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, oops, don't lose the phone. All right. We're going to put, I don't have a good whisk here, so we'll see how that works. Because the whisk is important in beating that, the grits, the cornmeal. Now, I also found kimchi, of course. I love kimchi. If you haven't used kimchi, start using it. Fermented food is good for your gut, so you can add them to your eggs or anything you're cooking, any kind of stews. Just chop a little bit. It's just fermented cabbage with spices, and it will help flavor your food. So I've been using that. So I'm gonna put a little bit of my onion. I find the New Wave cooktop is incredible. New Wave. Oh, okay. I gotta remember that. My platano lasagna was awesome. Listen, I love that thing. That was a new creation. I get so excited when I come up with something different because, you know, it keeps life from being boring. And you don't want to be a boring cook. Plus, you don't want to be eating the same thing all the time. So my cousin is like, you're going to have to leave all those recipes when you leave. So I can, because she didn't know anything about chickpeas. Because originally what I was going to do with the fish, I was going to make a like a Thai type of fish soup. But I got to use it today. Now see, this is all building flavor, okay? So I also chopped some garlic. So now we're going to put some garlic. Fresh garlic. Please don't use the thing in the bottle. You're going to hurt my feelings. Garlic makes any dish taste better. The only dish that I don't put garlic in is white rice, which I don't cook a lot now because, you know, white rice shoots up your blood sugar. Okay? So now I am going to add the tomatoes. So we're not going to be here long today because this doesn't take long. Once the cornmeal is kind of like a rice, you're going to lower the heat and let it cook some more. And then what that's happening, the fish, you know, cod cooks really fast. Oh, the other thing I forgot to tell you guys, let me turn this down a little bit, is that there was a little bit of the black mushroom here in the cupboard. This mushroom is specifically grown in Haiti, and it is not dangerous, you know, like if you're allergic to mushroom, but it's kind of like a delicacy, and because, you know, can you imagine people having to pick this up? So it's super expensive, and you have to go to certain places to get it. Someone tells me you can get it on Amazon. Now, I don't think I would buy that from Amazon because I don't know where it's coming from. I need to know where it's sourced from, okay? And then you let it, you're gonna let it soak. So it's been soaking for about an hour, but you can soak it overnight. And what you're looking for that black dark color. So if you've ever been to a Haitian restaurant, you hear about the black rice or the jugi jonjon. This is it. I love the Haitian people. Well, thank you. Not everybody does, but that's okay. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that. The only thing you need to remember, this is like leeks. It's something from the ground, so there is dirt involved. So when you are straining it, make sure you don't strain the whole thing in because I'm sure there is dirt here at the bottom, okay? So that's what I'm going to use as my liquid, okay? So that's going to be even better. But I don't have a lot. I just use everything that she had. So I would have put more if I had it, but it's usually super expensive. All right, I'm back now. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna season it, right? I don't have adobo in this kitchen. I need to get her some. Yeah, that's what we have. Don't like to use that. Paprika, lots of it. Love paprika. A little bit of cumin. I love cumin, just a little bit. I always like to put a little bit of flake crushed red pepper. And one of my favorite new blends is that lemon pepper. Oh, we got 2 oreganos. Where is that? Italian. Oh, I don't see it. Lemon pepper. Oh, there it is. Lemon pepper. Remember, lemon pepper saved the day last week. All right, and I do have some kimchi, but I think, yeah, I can use a little bit of the kimchi. Turn this thing down. This is the kimchi. I'm just going to use a little bit. So it's kind of like a seasoning. I use it. All right. I think we're ready for the liquid now. Because remember, I want the tomatoes to be kind of dissolved in the mix. That was one Roma tomato. It was a lot. Okay, I think I'm gonna put a little bit of that juice from the kimchi. They had like a gallon, and I'm like, oh, I need one, but I can't carry it back. No bueno. Oregano. Oregano is always good, whatever you're cooking. Plus, it's a super herb. Okay? So, now I'm going to put my water. Remember, I got to be careful with the bottom. Now, I'm thinking of the amount of cornmeal that I have. And again, that's one of those things I didn't measure because there was like a barrel and I just started scooping. So I don't want to put too much water and then for my corn to be pasty. Somebody might ask me how much liquid for corn. You know, I'm not sure. I know, again, for rice it's 2-to-1. And for quinoa and the bulgur that I cooked last week, it's less. So we're going to see. I have a little bit of liquid left, so if I need to, I can, but I don't think I will. All right. You see, the more I squeeze, the darker the water. So if I had more to use, then the cornmeal would be even darker. But that's okay. All right. Yes, I love that plantain lasagna, even though I called it a casserole, but it looked like a lasagna. And I'm trying to think what else I can try here. There is a little farmer's market close to me. I'm going to try to make a trip there next Saturday because on Sundays I can't. You have to be there early because everything gets, you know, the good stuff gets bought. So if you want a good choice, then you have to go there early. And also, you guys, I ordered this, while the water is boiling. Somebody had told me about the camera that moves so that I don't have to keep, you know, you see my back? Sorry. So I went on Amazon, okay. I didn't have a choice but to use them, I guess. So the box came, I don't know if that's what it is, but what I found out is that it's not the camera itself that moves, it's something you add to your tripod, and you have to kind of, you have to charge it for like 18-20 hours or something, and then that's what moves. It's like facial, or it's sensitive to your movement. So it's not the camera itself, but it's the handle that it sits on. And I think they call it gimbal or something. Oh, so it did come pro. So, okay, this is it. It's this high, but it sits on top of a regular tripod. Thank you, Bert. What's on the menu today? Blessed Angel. We're doing cornmeal with black mushroom and tomato, and then we're going to top it with some cod. Wow, don't know that about the camera. Yes, so it's not the camera that moves, it's this little handle. So you have a USB and you charge it. You put your phone in here like you would do your regular tripod, but this is gonna screw atop a regular tripod. So this little tripod that I have is not gonna work. So I have to get another tripod where I can, that has like a little thing like that. And then if you want to just sit that atop of something, if you had like a big box, you could, because then you screw it on, and then this is what moves as you move. So hopefully next week I'll be able to use that. But I just wanted to show you that I got it. Thank you for whoever made the suggestion. I had no idea they had such a thing. Why couldn't I come up with something like that? Dumb. Everybody's making money, but I'm not using my brain. Even as a nurse, I was like, why couldn't I think of that? Why couldn't I think of that? What can I tell you? All right, so I got this. So next week we should be in good shape. I have already rented my apartment. Hey, no. JW is good. There's a lot going on. There are a lot of social activities. Yes. Thank you, Jewel. So we'll see how that works. That way it can move with me. We shall see. I mean, it wasn't that expensive at all. I was expecting like over $100 some. I don't know, I think I paid what, $30 or something? So that's good. So now I have to get another tripod. Oh, they're holding messages for review. Okay, somebody trying to be funny here, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit of, where's my knife? A little bit of my habanero in here. But remember, if you don't like hot, don't put it in. Also, guys, remember that when you have hot peppers, the heat is in the seed. So if you don't put the seeds in, you're not gonna get something that's hot, okay? Oh, and some thyme, definitely. I don't have anything to tie it, so I have to drop it in here. Usually I like to tie it like a bouquet garni. And they're holding messages for review. All right, let's taste. Okay. Needs a little TLC. No lemon pepper. We got thyme. We got paprika. Italian seasoning. We already put oregano. Let me drop a bay leaf in there. I'm trying to build flavor. Not bad. All right, let's go ahead and put the corn in. Turn the heat down. Okay, ooh, looks good. I think you can take the rest of it. All right, now with corn, got to be careful. It's gonna splash, so you got to watch that so you don't get burned. So I'm gonna turn the heat down. And that's probably when I'm gonna move it to another burner. where it's not going to cook too fast. So I'm going to move it. Do not splash me. Okay. So let's move it to the back here. Because this burner, I'm scared of that burner, I tell you. All right. I'm moving it to the back. All right. We're going to stay here and cook our fish now. Now, fish is the easiest thing you can cook. What you don't want to do is to marinate your fish ahead of time. This is not like chicken or beef, okay? Fish is usually so mild that is going to pick up the flavor, whatever you're putting in it, rather quickly. And when you put some acid in your fish, like you would do with vinegar or lemon juice, it starts cooking the fish. That is a principle in ceviche, okay? That's why you can eat ceviche, because the acid is cooked partially cooking the fish. So if you want to season your fish, you can do that, but just for 5 minutes, or at the most 10. You don't want to put your fish and then let it cook by itself. I try that, and this is true. It does change the taste of the fish. That's why when you see chefs cook, they don't, season and marinate fish. You don't see that, right? Okay. So, but because, we like to season a little more, we will. But you see, I'm going to put the acid last. Now with the fish, I'm going to use herbs, right? Just because I love herbs. The salt, pepper will do. That's all you want to use. I did pepper. I have the garlic here that I'm going to put in here. I put a little bit of the garlic, not too much. Not cumin. Don't put cumin in your fish. Italian seasoning, yeah, I can put a little bit of that. And then I always like to put a little bit of oil when I'm seasoning my fish. And then I'm going to put a little salt. We did get the EVOO, extra virgin. I'm a happy girl. Because I was using that vegetable oil. I was like, ooh, forgive me, Lord. All right. You roll your lemon before you cut it to release the juice. Okay. Turn this down. So now I'm going to squeeze the acid. Fish can withstand a lot of lemon juice. Ooh. I forgot the major element in my corn. I forgot to add the coconut milk. What was I thinking? I'm going to add it now. But I could have added it in the water when the water was boiling. No, I don't hear anything moving in here. This looks really solid. Why is it solid? Okay, I don't trust this thing in the can. It's solid. It shouldn't be like that. So, scratch that. But I meant to add some coconut milk, but I don't like that. It's like solid. I don't know how long it's been in there. I don't even like canned stuff anyway, so it's a no for me. Oh, salt. We have some kosher salt. And I know you're probably going to be grossed out, but I have to taste it. Needs more salt, needs more acid. Because you know, kosher salt is not as salty as regular salt. Just remember that. So that's why sometimes you might need a little bit more. All right. So all that moving around is going to be about 5 minutes, which is exactly what I want. Because I don't want the fish to start cooking itself. And then once you make the sauce, and then you bring the fish back, it's a happy marriage. All right. Put the can in warm water. Oh. So that's okay for it to be solid? I've never seen it solid. It's cold in Orlando. Okay. All right. Well, listen. You all heard that from the experts. So if anything happens to my to my corn, it's their fault. Okay, I'm gonna put it in. They said it's okay. All right. It's been cold in Orlando. Okay, I'm putting like maybe half a cup of this solid thing. Okay. And I also believe I can add a little bit of my leftover juice. Not all of it, but not to get the dirt in there. Ooh, my pan is hot. And then we're gonna beat this baby up. I'll give you a look. Ugh. It did a lot. I hope my cousin and I can eat that. All right. Put it in cold water. Okay, I gotta remember that. You guys are so good. Keep me straight. All right. So let's cook the fish. like 2 tablespoons. We'll cook it, then take it out, do the sauce, and then bring the fish back in. What you cooking, Mama? Cornmeal with cod. Hello, HBS. Okay. From this crazy burner. It's already hot. Whew. All right. Let me let it cool for a little bit. It's already smoking. I'm not cooking a steak. Good morning. Latoya, I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I'm still in Florida. There are a couple of ladies are trying to get together. It's like, I don't have a car now. Well, I have a car this weekend. It's been a different experience, me not having a car this time. It was going to be too much money with the insurance. And my age, I'm like, wait a minute. Sunset. What does that mean? I used to live in Korea, so I appreciate kimchi. I love kimchi, but I've never had it with eggs. Yes, you should try it. Chop it off. People just eat it like that. I can't eat it like that. I have to mix it in something. That looks so good. What looks so good? Are you still in Florida? Yes. So, well, I don't have a... She doesn't have a spatula for you when you turn the fish, so we'll see. You make do with what you have. Oh, thank you. You know what? I enjoy my food. You know what else I cooked this week? I had my pompano fish. Well, she fell in love with that fish. She's like, well, we had to go back and get 6 of those. I'm like, oh. And so I cut off the head. And then I was making a soup with the fish head because that's perfect. And so I had some of that. No, that was shrimp. I did shrimp with snow peas, and then I took some dry beans that look like pigeon peas, soaked them overnight, and then the next day I cooked them. I had some leftover squash. I had some chayote, carrots, and I mixed it all in the fish. And when the squash started to cook, you smash some of it against the side to thicken it. I've seen Dominicans do that in their cooking, when they make that soup. So you don't have to put flour or, starch, cornstarch in there. You could just use whatever you're cooking, smash it. And that's what they do in Panama when they make the sancocho. Sancocho is a soup that originated in Africa, and in South and Central America, everybody has their own version. And even our soup jumeau is a version of the sancocho. So in Panama, the sancocho is chicken, ñame, which is a kind of white yam, and sometimes yuca. What else do they put in there? Oh, and the type of parsley that they have, they use a lot of culantro. Culantro is the leaf, where cilantro is the small little leaves. But if you talk to a Panamanian, they're going to tell you the classic Panamanian sancocho is gallina, which is chicken, pollo, And then a ñame y culantro. That's what they're going to tell you. But depending on the version, wherever you go in the country, they make it a little bit different, right? So you could go someplace. Why is this thing foaming like that? That's not right. So depending on where you go in Panama, it could be a little bit different. Some people add corn. People put yuca. What else have I seen? And when last year we had a drought and yame, it was almost impossible to find yame, the yam. So people started using, in some of the fondas, which are the small little restaurant, they started using the calabaza squash, which is abundant in Panama. And I absolutely love calabaza squash. So depending on where you go, but I went to La Chorrera, which is an area west of the city. They do a lot of cultural thing, and there is a big Colombian influence in La Chorrera. And I went to a fonda. Wear gloves? Why would I wear gloves? And then you need to spell wear better. So when I tasted the sancocho there, it was thick. And I was like, what is making it so thick? And then I found out it was they used some of the ñame. Guys, I have no idea what this is smoking like that. Makes you think of the quality of the fish. No bueno. So that's when I asked, and they say they used some of the ñame, and they would squeeze it on the side and use it as a thickener. I was like, that's kind of cool. That's smart. So now see, the fish is cooked, but I didn't know where all that foam came from. I've never seen it do that before. You know, when you buy fish, you don't know how they raise that fish. Was it raised in a tank? Or was it from the sea? Makes you wonder. I was looking for a nice little chart on it. So we're going to take the fish out. Let me taste it. This is good. All right. She had a spatula. Doesn't look like mine, but it's still a spatula. I remember when I first got my you get a bag when you go to culinary school. And in the bag, you got all your stuff in there. We even had like a little book where they measure your cuts. You know, if they say we want a 1/2 inch cut, trust me, the chefs would take that and measure your cut. I'm like, come on, guys. Food doesn't have to be that complicated. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's get our fish out before it falls apart. Now, this person was trying to tell me to wear gloves. When you're cooking in your kitchen, it's not necessary as long as you don't cross-contaminate. Remember? The cross-contamination is when you're going to cook or prepare your meat with your veggies or your salad. There's something called ready-to-eat food, RTE. That's when you're supposed to wear gloves. And I see all the chefs, trust me, even in the big kitchen, when they're preparing your food in the back, do you think they all wear gloves? I can tell you they don't. I think the best time to wear gloves is when you're doing the prep, right? If you're prepping veggies, you're cutting lettuce, yes, you want to wear gloves. So whoever is trying to be smart, learn your stuff, please. I was watching a show. I don't know if I told you guys. It was a big chef from, I think it was Canada. He was on one of those cooking shows. The chef was celebrated for writing books, getting awards, was displaying his books on his shelf, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. And the judges were sitting there, and he proceeded to, he was cooking some chicken, and then without missing a beat, he didn't change his gloves. So sometimes gloves are just even bad, because if you don't know how to use your glove or to change, when to change your glove, that's when you get into trouble. And that's why I use a spatula to use my fish, to cook my fish. And, I mean, to handle it. And he did not change his glove, didn't change his board, which is what you're supposed to do. And he proceeded to cut some lettuce to make a salad. And I went, oh! And the chefs, the judges look at each other. So I'm putting onions and I'm going to try not to let these overcook, because I don't like these overcooked. And it was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then he prepared his food, he plated it, and then he presented it because they had to taste it. And the chefs looked at him and said, I'm sorry, chef, we can't taste your food. He's like, I say, you did not wash you didn't change your gloves and you didn't change your board. There is cross-contamination. And chicken is the worst thing you can cross-contaminate with, because raw chicken can send you into E. coli and all kinds of craziness. Yes, then you could die. So be careful. Oh, trust me, I've been back there. And I tell people, when you decide to go eat out, you put your life in your hand. Trust me. Things falling on the floor, picking it up, putting it in there, crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. So that's why you are safer in your own kitchen, whatever you cook. Even if you cross-contaminate for a little bit, it's never going to be as bad as if you were eating in a commercial kitchen. One other thing you need to always do, if you have a favorite kitchen, a favorite restaurant, go into there's a website where the state does, here in the US, I'm not sure how they do it in Panama. Just check to see how many violations, they've had. And there's a certain group of restaurants that are famous for getting lots of violations, okay? So make sure they're not on that list. Rodent and all kinds of craziness going up back there in the kitchen. Food being, sitting around. It can be bad, y'all. So I am going to add a little bit of water. This is where the camera would have followed me, right? And then we're going to be quickly trying to season that fast. So I don't have parsley. So I'm putting some thyme. Because you want these veggies to be a little bit under, what do they call that? Al dente. This is good. Enough salt. Put a little bit more of that heat in there. These peppers were not hot at all. Okay, so that's just about what I want, because I want to be able to pour a little bit of that sauce onto the fish. So the fish will return. Okay, and you're going to season your fish with your sauce. And in this sauce did not need thickening. It thickens by itself. My cousin said she went to the store yesterday because I was at the house all day. And I'm like, did you bring cilantro, parsley? She's like, oh no, I didn't go work. And I'm like, that's okay. So next week I'm going to plan. Since I'm done with all the cleaning, I will go to that little farmer's market. I used to love going there. And it's in a quaint little town that mimics Casco Viejo in Panama City. So it's not as old. There is not the same type of history. All right, so let's see where we are. Really good. Okay, so now we're just going to squeeze a little bit more lemon and then a little butter for Monte au Beurre. And then we're good. I have this on low and that thing is still boiling. It's a burner from hell. Okay. Monte au Beurre. Remember, only butter, no margarine. Don't make me come and get you. Oh. Flavor, flavor, flavor. All right, I'm gonna turn this thing off. We are good. Just a little bit of juice. You don't need a whole lot. And you keep basting. We call that basting. You know, when you're getting all the sauce and the juice and you're putting it over your protein because you're trying to infuse them with that flavor. You do that with your turkey when you're cooking it. You can do it with any protein that you have in a little bit of gravy. That just, I just can't eat food that is not seasoned. I'm sorry. Okay, so our fish is done. Now let's see what this corn looks like. Now you can use this black mushroom with anything. I've seen people even use it in like for stew. There's a chef in Miami who does that. So now let's see what the taste is like. All right, I don't want to put a lot of salt in it. So it's got enough salt. And I can taste the habanero pepper, which is good. Just give it a little hint. But no, I'm tempted to put, but remember this thing has salt, so I don't need a whole lot. Just got enough pepper. Do a little paprika. A little bit of that lemon pepper. Why not? All right. Let's give it a stir. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I know. A little bit of acid. I like to put a little acid in all my food. And maybe a tad. I said I wasn't going to put any salt, but just a tad. Once it gets to where I want it to go, oh no. And I'll tell you. So I keep doctoring it. Now you can make this a little bit looser, but I'm okay with that. I don't like my corn, you know, like, and I'm not a fan of cornmeal. Never have been. You can cook cornmeal also with peas, beans, you know, black beans. All right. Monter au beurre. That's like, what, a teaspoon and a half? Some people put a lot more oil in it. I don't. In fact, when I first went whole food plant-based, we were not using any oil, but I'm like, I need a little oil in my food. Some people get, oh my God, oil-free, salt-free. I'm like, is this like a badge of honor? You need some oil for your face, for your skin, for your hair. Walking around all dry and ashy. No. All right. I think I've doctored this enough. Oh. Put that over there. I think I'm still cooking my fish. Okay. We are done. All right, we're gonna plate this baby. I'm gonna cut some green onions for decoration. Oh, it's not open at all. Interesting. Oh, okay. I was like, I thought I used it. I want one with the green because I want the green. The stalk with the green. Alrighty. We just want some of the greens. Okay. We got it. All right, guys. Let us plate. Take some of this stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you something else. I made this, what we call pickles. I made that maybe about a week ago. This is where you shred cabbage, carrots, onions. Some people put peppers. And then I have a lot of thyme in here, no garlic. And then you put a lot of vinegar and lots of hot pepper, lots of hot pepper. So it becomes like a garnish, but it is hot for those who like something hot. So when I grew up, we used to cook fried pork, which you could call pork belly. And then you put that on top with some fried plantain patacones. Woo! But we also use pickles on everything and anything. It looks so good. And it has no oil in it, but you do have salt and pepper. And then you just stick, you know, a little bit like that. Oh, I use that for the fish. This is where the cross-contamination can happen, right? So I'm not using that. I have another one. You just take that and then you put it on top of your food. And you can put it in a jar. You don't have to refrigerate it, but if you refrigerate this, it will last for weeks, okay? And every Haitian household has pickles. Okay. All right. So let us plate our cornmeal. All right. I think I'm going to use this plate today. So now corn in general, when you cook corn, you want to eat it fast because otherwise it solidifies and it becomes like a, you know, tough mess. So I think this is enough. And what we're going to do, we're going to flatten it like you would do your grits. But your grits, you have like a mound. You can use it either way you want. And then we're going to put our fish. You guys see that cowboy dance that's going around? Where your friends at? I think as a group, the ladies were talking about learning that dance so we could do it before it goes out of style, I guess. And then I'm over here, so I don't know what's happening over there, what they're doing. But even though, you know, I don't know, I'm doing this, I'm very happy, but generally, it's just like my heart is heavy. My heart has been very heavy here. Very heavy. It hasn't been all fun, you know? There we go. And then let's put a little bit of our sauce. And then we have our green onions. You always want to decorate your plate, right? And you see the chef do that all the time because you don't want to serve food on a dirty plate because people get used to that. And I've seen a review where they said the plate was messy. You don't want to do that. All right, guys, cornmeal and cod. Our version of shrimp and grits. Now, I don't want to mess up this plate, but I'm going to have a try. I'm going to have a taste for me because that's what my cousin's going to be eating that too. And a little piece of fish, peppers. She brought so many peppers. She's like, I know my niece likes peppers. And I'm like, yeah, you can put peppers in anything. I also have stuffed peppers with rice and stuff that you can put. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Great combo. Wow, this is good. Mm. And then if I wanted to put like a little pickles, just elevates it. Oh my gosh. Because everything is raw, you could feel the crunchiness of the, you hear it? Mm, 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 mm. The other thing we could do is add a couple of slices of avocado. Let's see. Oh, that would just kind of take it to a whole new level. Let's see. This avocado looks real funny. The shape is funny. Oh, but it's a good one. Look at that. Wow. You could probably cut it in half. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that, you guys. I wish I could share it with you guys. It is just so good. Oh my goodness. Oh man. And that's my problem. I love my food. Wow. Me have a little avocado. That's a small slice for me. This is a good avocado. You know, when you're picking an avocado, if you can hear the pit moving inside, that's a good trick. Wow. So you can have shrimp and grits, or you can have cornmeal and cod. It's a great combo, great pairing. So don't give up on cornmeal. If you want to try something different than rice, like we did bulgur last week, and it turned out pretty good. I mean, it tasted really yummy. All right, guys. I don't know what to say. Thank you for experimenting with me. It tastes amazing. I mean, it's good to have your food look good, right? And I think one of the things, the plate you choose is important too. Plus, you want to have contrast with your food. Sometimes people would post something online and I'm like, oh, that looks awful. They have something white on white on white and gray, and no. You want to have contrast, you want to add color. People eat with their eyes. You're going to hear that a lot. That means people want to see something pretty. It does something to their brain to make them salivate and enjoy the food. So make sure you always look at your colors and contrast, okay? As you're plating. Even if you're at home, feeding your family, play with your food. All right, guys. Florida avocado anymore. Well, you know what? I live in Panama and I love Panamanian avocado. They are just, the neck is narrow and then the body is round, but they only come around in May, June. Otherwise, you don't find it. or the ones that you find are from like Mexico and other places. Yeah, the haws are okay too. I like haws. Presentation is important. Yes. Is that polenta? No, it's cornmeal. Polenta would be a little bit too fine for this. So you want something that's still got a little bit of bite, okay? But if that's all you have, play around with it. Just season it, cook it with some beans, flavor it, and play. Just play with your food. Do something different. Any questions, you guys? I told you today wasn't going to be long, so that's good. Do you do videos from Panama also? Well, yeah, I'm only visiting here. All my videos are made in Panama. Somebody asked me yesterday to do videos on apartment and the prices in the different ranges, and I referred her to some people in Panama that are doing those videos. They go into those apartments and they show you what you could get for like 800, for 1,000, 1,500, all the way 2,000 plus. Again, location, 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 amenities, amenities, amenities. That's what's going to determine how much you pay in the city. Now, when you go inside, in the interior, you can find rent for way cheaper, but they're going to be probably in a Panamanian style home, which is a little bit like what we used to have in the 50s here, with lots of different smaller rooms, smaller bathrooms. So the layout is not going to be the same as what you would find in a modern building. Can you find saltfish? Yes, lots of saltfish, but no ackee. I'm taking 4 cans of ackee. That's why I am upgrading to executive class so I can take 2 70-pound bags. That's 50 pounds. You can only put only a few stuff in there. And it's 50. Working on your residency. Excellent, Maria. Excellent. Very easy. 4 to 6 months. You're good. Blue butterfly. May I suggest seeking out a Caribbean Haitian supermarket? Where? In Panama? We have them here in Orlando, and Miami, and New York. I don't need a lot of space, but I definitely want a view. I have a view, and when my time was up in December to renew, I was like, oh, I'm going to miss this. But I think I'm going to do it one more year. After that, I'm going to downgrade to something smaller and cheaper. We spoke this week about the threat to Social Security. With everything happening here, we don't know what's going to happen to Social Security. So you all better, if you're of that age, make plans so you can survive in case it doesn't last. Okay. I don't know. But everything points to they're going to go next, look at Social Security. They're looking at it now. Colorado, that might be difficult, but just ask around, you know, because if you say Spanish supermarket, you can find something in a Spanish store. Save every dime you can. Expand your horizon in terms of side hustles. Make sure you have multiple streams of income. It's important. The avocado, I'm telling you, I'm not a connoisseur. I can tell you that every avocado I pick is the right one. Because if it's not yellowish and creamy and thick to me, sometimes they're like watery. So it's always a surprise when I cut into it. What's bad? The avocado? What do you mean they are bad? Avocado is bad? 70-pound bags in these days. For avocado? I'm not sure I understand. To be a member of SWRA, do you have to live? Yes, you do. When I first started SWRA, early last year, I was just trying to get everybody in. But what I find is that the people who are like not retired, working, are not as engaged, because remember, the goal of SWRA is to create a place where we can grow old safely and with, affordability. So if you're not in that space, you really don't fit in the model, so to speak, right? So we had to kind of tighten the requirements for being part of SWRA. And you have to be actively engaged. You have to be single, of course, and older, retired, and actively engaged in relocating. Yeah. And what we do, we have a membership person now. She'll call and ask some question and see, where you fit in those. Not Panama City. We have a member who is outside of the city. Panama City is not the requirement. Is that we do have a WhatsApp group. We want people who are engaged and want to contribute to the group. But if you just kind of on the outlier, not engaged, then no, you don't belong in SWRA. They have calorie dense. Well, yeah, but how much avocado are you going to eat? A slice of avocado? Mm-mm. I say everything in moderation. And the fat content is good. It's good fat, just like coconut milk. Coconut milk is loaded with calories and good fat. So just don't have too much. Let's just relax. But avocado is a good food. Have half an avocado. I don't eat that much, but I'll be visiting Panama in July. Hey, that would be great. Lots of people want to visit. I love it. I love it. But what I tell people is before you come, let's get a date together. And I'm going to try very hard to stick to a calendar because it becomes a little bit much. And sometimes I can't and they get disappointed. I'm sorry, but we have to, it's only one of me. And I have to learn to manage my time more effectively. And what I tell the ladies when they say, well, can we meet? I said, well, there's a restaurant right next to my building. If you can make it there, it's not as bad for me to just go downstairs and meet you and cross the street. Instead of me getting dressed, getting a metro, getting a Uber, it's just too much. So I tell folks, come next door and we can sit there, have a coffee, we can talk. Yeah, your retirement plan don't count on Social Security. Make sure Social Security is one of the items on the side. Try to fund your retirement differently. And the way it looks like a lot of us are going to have to go back to doing something to get more income. And I tell the ladies, you just have to switch your mindset. No more can you say, well, I worked 40 years, I deserve this. Well, yeah, we do too. But unfortunately, the people making the decisions don't really care about that. I am enjoying my meal. I try to share, but you won't come up. What are you having, Linda? Oh, well, love your content. Hope to see you when I visit. Hugs to you too, my dear. Of course I do. They have questions. Sometimes even before they get to Panama, they ask question. Oh, can you recommend a lawyer? And I say, I'm not recommending. I'm telling you who I use. So what's a disclaimer? I have to put that on the web on my page to say I'm not making recommendations, because if you have a bad experience, I'm pretty sure you're going to come back to me and say, well, you recommended it. No. I'm not working with them. I had a good experience. You may or may not have the same. So I can't take responsibility for that. Good morning. Good morning. You got your plate. Good, Greta. Greta, we have to make sure we put you on for the next round table. Make sure the 4th Wednesday of the month you're going to be on. Okay? No more security. I love that you are being proactive. Yeah, I'm telling the ladies, it's like, start thinking, what skill set do you have? What can you do? And that's why you need to, trim the fat. Make sure you live a simple life so that you can afford whatever you have coming in. Because if Big Daddy says we're cutting it, what are you going to do? You don't want to be cut unaware. Oh my God. Yeah. The world is changing, and we have to change with it. So we're not even more stressed than we already are. Okay, I'll be ready for the 4th Wednesday. Great. Yes, I want to talk to you about how the transition was, and I want to know everything, Greta. Okay? We spoke to that lady from the Dominican Republic. She is gonna be there in September. She's a physician, and she is gonna retire in July, I believe, and then she's gonna be. She bought a house. I mean, she talked to us all about, and what people really, I want people to keep in their mindset is that yes, you are in a place that you love, but can you afford to live there comfortably? And what are some other factors that might affect your decision to stay or not to stay? And at this point, yes, we spent a lot of time and energy for one location, but what if you have to move in a hurry? You have to be ready at all times, right? So we want to give people exposure to people living other places that we may or may not have thought about. Like I want to go to Kenya this year and check Kenya out. I've been to Ghana. I'd like to go back before my visa expires next year. Um, I have a lady who's Indonesia. I know Indonesia is a long way off, but when you're paying $200 a month for rent, that kind of makes you think, right? Can I make it there? And if you talk to somebody who said, yeah, I've been here a couple of years, I love it, then that gives you a sense of security. And also that you're not going to be, a pioneer, that somebody else has done it and they can kind of hold your hand and help you. This is a different world we're living in. We have to be like I said, right now I consider myself a nomad because I don't want to be stuck in any one place, that if I need to move, I can move fast. Okay? I wish I had taken my retirement much more seriously. I still have 8 years to save. Wow, that's a long time. I'm living on half my salary. It's hard but necessary. That's good though, Jewel. If you can afford to do that, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. People, we get a sense of entitlement, in retirement. It's like I deserve this. I worked hard. But can the math work, right? The math has to work for you. When I'm not planning to live in another country, I would love to spend periods of time visiting. Yeah, that's great. Watching your videos has placed Panama. Panama, I think, is a must visit for most folks. I came to Panama to see the canal. That's what I went there for. I got the connection to the place, but Panama was not on my radar screen as a place to retire. So you just never know. You never know until you get there. And some people, read a lot about Panama, or they talk to people like me and they see how excited we are about it. And they came with their suitcases without visiting. I don't recommend it, but it's working for some folks. So not one size fits all. Nice plan, Jewel. Yeah, you got time. And at least now you know not to rely on, yeah. Yeah, don't think about the time. Just do it. It's like going back to school. People will say, oh my God, just get started. And before you know it, you're done. Yeah, don't think about the time. To keep one day at a time. I also have a visa to Ghana. Yes, I went there in 21, I believe, and it's a 5-year. Oh, is it this year that it expires? Oh, goodness. So they give you a 5-year visa. And one of the ladies was looking at Ghana. I have 2 ladies in the group going to Ghana this year. Plus, Black Expats in Panama, is sponsoring a big group going to Ghana in October, I believe. But the demand and interest was so much that she scheduled another one. So there's large groups of people going to check Ghana out. I also went to Rwanda when I was there in Africa. And they do have some people who love Rwanda are retired there. So just keep an open mind. You just never know which country you're going to fall in love with. And the way it's looking, it's like Africa is very attractive right now because that's where our people are. So yes, you're not a local, but just like you feel comfortable in Panama, you have to work at integrating in a culture, because just because you look like someone, you don't have the same culture. There is a learning curve there. So you have to understand that. Living Costa Rica on and off for 10 years. Are there any differences that you would like to point out Who's that? Who's talking about she? I didn't live in Costa Rica. Is there somebody here in the chat who's lived in Costa Rica? I was there like a month ago or so. Yeah, I mean, I crossed the border. That's where I got fined for not getting the stamp. So make sure you get your passport stamp. Um, it reminded me of Panama, but it's different because as soon as I crossed, I was like, the vibe is different. It's more lush and it's kind of more country. I didn't go to San Jose, which is the capital, so I don't know. And I know from people who've been there that is not on par with, um, Panama City. That looks like a Miami Beach kind of thing. But the food, I was on the Caribbean side. The food was familiar. I love the beaches. They're just so beautiful. The people I came across with, even though where I was more of a resort vacation spot, so there were a lot of gringos, a lot of people from other places. But the locals looked chill and they were very kind. Um, a lot of lushness though. For me, I don't want to be in a place I feel like I'm in the woods, so to speak, because I'm afraid of critters. So that wouldn't work for me. But I don't know what the city, San Jose, the main city, looks like. Limon. I went to Limon, and Limon reminded me a bit of Colon, but there is more Caribbean, more brown-skinned people there. So I think if I were to consider Costa Rica, it would be Limon. But they say that the prices have gone up for a lot of things. So I don't know. But I know a lot of people are leaving Costa Rica and coming to Panama. Some of them talk about safety, they get robbed. Some people talk about the infrastructure not being as developed as Panama. But when I was there in Puerto Viejo, the road, there's a one main road, was really great. So I don't know. Yes, I heard about the prices. Like I took a bus, an 8 hour bus, 1 hour bus for $8. I was like, that's expensive. I ride buses in Panama for 25 cents. What's wrong with you people? So again, like I said, I can't speak intelligently about Costa Rica. We'd have to have somebody who lives there. I think some people are still there. It would be nice to have them on our roundtable talk about that. Love your humor in your channel. Thank you so much. There's no point in being down in the mouth. What happens, happens. I live by the serenity prayer. If there's something I can't control, I let it go. I let it go. And I do things that make me feel positive. Music, walking, exercising, doing YouTube, talking to you guys. You have to channel your emotions in a positive way, and you have to do it intentionally and not let the bad news and the bad outlook, what will happen will happen. Any other questions, you guys? Okay, I'm gonna sign off if you guys are okay. I love how you stay positive. Can no longer retire. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yep. And I said that in the video this week. Do not binge on the bad news. It's only going to make you feel worse. Yeah. What will happen will happen. Yep. All right, guys. I will see you next week. I connect with you, Maggie. Thank you. Same age and same outlook. Wonderful. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time. Henry, I will see you next time. Budina, have a beautiful day. Yes, you do the same. It's not as cold today in Orlando. Yesterday was 41. And I'm like, what is this? I mean, I don't mind a nice little cool, but when you're getting closer to the 30s, this time for me to go. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Love you guys. Take care.